Sorry I haven't been making videos lately here on my channel. Couple of things came up and I had to take care of them. But tonight I did want to make a video previewing the Steelers and Ravens, since I've been off and I didn't react to the past two victories at New York and against the Chiefs. And basically the Steelers won both of those games. The first one at New York was 24-20. Pretty remarkable that the Steelers won that game. I kind of thought that there'd be an emotional sugar high out there in New York, and I thought that the hurricane would get them playing, and the difficulty traveling would hurt the Steelers, but they were proven to be mentally tough, and believe it or not, the most outrageous sports commentator on television, named Skip Bayless of First Take on ESPN, he actually said that, and he's definitely right to a large extent, but I didn't know how mentally tough they would be. So obviously my congrats to the Steelers to that win that I missed. And also I want to say that the Steelers defeated the Chiefs in overtime 16-13. And this one came with a price. It was not a very good effort. I think maybe part of it was the week before, where the Steelers were difficulties, and I don't want to make excuses, but I think there were some of those elements of the Giants game still lingering into this week, and made it a lot more frustrating to watch. And plus, the Steelers have a reputation of playing down to bad teams and playing down to the opponents and making games close when they practically should blow them out of the water. So usually with the Steelers, you don't get a blowout victory, and I was very frustrated by that last year, but I've come to accept it this year, that's just what happens, and that's just what the Steelers do. So but they still got it done, and Lawrence Timmons probably deserves the MVP of that game. So that's just my opinion on that. But this game came with a big price. Ryan Clark with an injury, I think it was concussion related. It sounds like he is going to be probable for this game, so I don't expect any problems there. But of course, the big injury is Ben Roethlisberger, out with a shoulder sprain, that we know, and also a dislocated rib. And I've heard reports on KDKA that if Roethlisberger would play before it was healed, that the bone or the rib could get dislocated again, and then it could penetrate into an artery, and you know what happens if you burst an artery. That is very, very dangerous, and life-threatening. Sorry, I didn't mean to misspeak there. So he's not going to play, and guess what, folks? He's not going to play for a very long time, which means that, well, the good news for Roethlisberger is that whenever whenever his wife has the baby, it's going to be good. Obviously, I mean, he will be there in the hospital probably to be there with his wife because he can't play. So of course he was going to miss a game when that happened anyway, but now there's going to be no pressure because he can't play anyway, because if he did, then it could ruin his life pretty much. So he will not be playing, and I don't think he's going to play for a very long time. I would be shocked if he plays again this year. Maybe the playoffs, maybe if it heals by then, but I don't think he's coming back. I think he's done for the season, and therefore that's just something the Steelers are going to have to live with. Now, in my opinion, I still think they can make a wild card spot, even without Ben Roethlisberger there, because you have the Browns, who I think they have them twice, and they should be able to win even if it's close. You've got some other pretty atrocious teams coming up. I mean, you do have some tougher games, obviously, like the Ravens, but you have some pretty. There are some pretty weak opponents that are going to be coming that the Steelers should win. I think they should beat the Browns twice. So with that in mind, that'll get them to 8 wins. The Bengals, I think they should beat them the second time because it's in Pittsburgh, so that should be a 9th win. And then a 10th win would probably, it would have to be one of those games, but I think San Diego coming to Pittsburgh, I think Pittsburgh can get it done, and that's your 10th win, and that probably in the AFC will be good enough. But I think the Steelers are going to be one and done. I don't think they're going to do anything, and this is where the criticism comes in, because I'm going to get into the Ravens game now. This is where a lot of the people who are going to watch this video aren't going to be happy about this, but I hate to say it because I really want to win this year at home to the Ravens. I really do, because I dislike the Ravens intensely. They are a division rivalry. We need to beat them, obviously. Obviously, they have a good chance at a division, but here's the problem. Without Ben Roethlisberger, here's what's going to happen for the Steelers to be successful. First off, the defense is going to have to play A+ football. Not A football, not A- football, B+ football. No, that's not going to be good enough. The Steelers defense is going to have to play A+ football. And I don't know if they can do that, because here's what they got to do. In these division rivalry games on primetime television tend to be when the defenses overreact and overplay some plays. Because they cannot have a penalty. Pass interference or roughing the passer, illegal contact. They have to play perfect football in that regard. They can't make a single mistake. And they also got to be good when it comes to covering the receivers. They got to be able to cover, and they can't let them go. And I'm still concerned that any day now, even though the secondary is playing very good, that any day now they're going to give up the big play for the secondary, and their defensive line is going to have to play a lot better than they've been playing. Because let's face it, Jamaal Charles, he had 100 yards in that game. He had 100 yards. And the Steelers used to not give up 100-yard rushers, but now they did last night. And Charles is a good running back, and I knew that coming in. But if you can't handle him, then you're going to have to, against Ray Rice, probably one of the best running backs in the game, they're going to have to do good. They're going to have to be perfect, down the line good. They got to stop the run, because the Ravens are going to run the football, because they've seen that the Steelers' defense of line is not that good this year. Their defensive line is not that good. So I think they think that they can get some big plays running the football down the field. And that could really well happen. And if it does, then the Steelers have no chance. Because in order for them to even have a chance in this game, they're going to have to be A+ defensively. No penalties. I think they do got to cause a couple of turnovers. They got to win the turnover battle. They got to be able to cover. They got to be able to stop the run. They got to cause 3 and outs. I mean, they're going to have to be perfect in this game, and they're going to have to create field position. And I mean, the defense is getting better for the Steelers, especially in the secondary, but it is not A+. It is not an A+ defense, and it is ranked number 1 in the NFL for total defense when it comes to yards allowed. But it's not going to be good enough to overcome this type of adversity. I'm telling you right now. And I hate to say this, but that's why I don't think the Steelers are going to win this game. I think the Ravens are going to win, and I think they're going to win pretty comfortably because of this injury. This is a big deal, folks. Because on the other side, you have Byron Leftwich, and I think especially early on, I think he was atrocious in that game against the Chiefs. I think, especially against a suspect secondary. And the Ravens defense, while it is struggling this year, it's better than the Chiefs. Okay, and that's just a fact. And it's going to be a huge problem for the Steelers, especially if they don't have the field position battle, because they're going to have to run the football. And yes, the Ravens have given up some run plays too, but after Monday night and how they couldn't get any push up front at all, I mean, on the offensive line, I mean, they're going to have to get a push, and I just don't know if they can get that push. And I don't know, and Leftwich, I don't know. I mean, he's a strong guy. He's a mentally tough guy. Because I remember what happened at Marshall when he got injured, and he basically did a game-winning drive while the offensive line was carrying him down the field. I mean, this guy has mental toughness, and I like this guy, but I mean, he was not that good Monday night, and he's going to have a good game, and he's going to have to play almost Roethlisberger style football, and I don't think he's capable. So then it goes back to the defense, and they're going to have to be A+, and I don't know they're going to be A+. I don't know if they're going to be A+ in this game. I doubt it. They might play B football, maybe B+, maybe A-, but that's just not going to be good enough to win this game. It's just not. And I hate to break it to some of you people out there, because I want to see this happen. And obviously, I mean, I dislike this Ravens squad. I dislike the coach. I dislike Ray Lewis. I dislike all of those people. Terrell Suggs. I definitely dislike that guy. But at the same time, Ravens are a good team. They're leading the division right now. And yes, they are coming to Pittsburgh, but without Roethlisberger, it's going to be very hard for the Steelers to win this game, and that's just my opinion. I mean, they're going to have to be A+, I think, and the offense is going to have to get stuff done. And they're going to have to get a lot more done than what they did on Monday night, because when Leftwich was out there, they did pretty much nothing on the field except for one big play. But otherwise, they were pretty pathetic. And the Ravens defense, while not the same, they're going to be good enough against this type of offense, and that's why I think the Ravens are going to win this game. I would say probably 21-7 would probably be the final. And it's terrible. It hurts me to say this, but I just don't see the Steelers winning this game. I don't. Even though it's at home, I don't see them winning this game. If they win this game, that would install a new confidence in me, even to where. And I said they weren't going to beat the Giants either. I said they're probably not going to do it because of the hurricane and it is out there and this travel schedule. But they pulled it out. But the difference was they have Roethlisberger. Now they don't got Roethlisberger, so that's a huge problem. And I don't think they're going to be able to overcome that. What else was I going to say about this game? But yeah, and that's pretty much it. I think I tried to say something else, but I can't remember what I was going to say. But it's going to be. Oh yeah, I'm pretty confident about this pick to the point that I will not watch this game on Sunday night, and that's going to be another thing you people aren't going to like either. Especially in the Steeler Nation, but I'm not going to watch this game because I have a pretty good feeling how this is going to go, and I even have a better feeling about this one than I did about the Giants game, because I said there were ways that you can beat the Giants. I think it's just completely hopeless now. So if I was you, the Steeler fan, I would take my advice, unless you like to see the team lose. If you want to see them lose, that's fine. But if you don't want to see them lose, what I would do is I would DVR the game, check in around midnight to see what the final was of the game. If the Steelers lost, then obviously you can delete the DVR, and it won't cause you any harm. It won't piss you off or anything. It'll save you some blood pressure. It'll keep your blood pressure down, and it'll be good for your health. Especially if you're the kind to get excited about stuff. And if they win, you can rewatch the game and you can see how it happened. and you can see how they won. Yeah, it won't be as good as watching the game in real time, but if they lose and you watch the entire game, then it's going to work you up, and it's going to frustrate you, and just don't even bother. Just don't even bother, because like I said, I am very confident in this pick. This is probably the most confident I am in my Steeler predictions this year. I just don't see how it's going to get done. I don't. So save yourself the time. Don't watch this game. That's what I say. If you want to, just consider yourself warned that it's not going to be pretty. And I don't want to see you bitch about it or whatever, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's it for me now. I am through. I am out for now. I'm going to try to get some of the old school DVEs back into my computer. I'll try to get that done here within the week, so then I will upload some more. I'm going to get some more DVEs for Christmas. Twisted. I'm going to try to get Twisted. I'm going to try to get Former Alder Boys and a couple of others that I've seen on Amazon, so I can upload these. And so between now and Christmas, probably won't be many old school ones, but I'm going to try to get some more for you on that front, because like I said, I do love the DVE morning show, especially the old school stuff, not the new stuff as much. It's not as good. I hate to say it. It sucked that they got rid of Jim Crenn. But anyway, that is it for me for now. Have a good one, everyone, and see you Monday.